You know the advice already. Cut the coffee, cancel the subscriptions, pack your lunch. And you've tried, you really have. But at the end of the month, the number in your account is still uncomfortably low, and the advice starts to feel like it was written for someone else, someone who has margin to cut from. If you're earning enough to survive but not enough to breathe, this isn't about discipline, it's about math, and the math is tighter than most people want to admit. Here's what usually happens. Your paycheck comes in. Let's say it's $2,000 after taxes. Rent or mortgage takes $900, car payment, insurance, and gas take another $400. Utilities, phone, internet add up to $200. Groceries are $300 if you're careful. You're at $1,800 before you've done anything optional. That leaves $200 for everything else. Clothes, medication, repairs, birthdays, the occasional dinner that isn't pasta. And savings? The advice says to save 10% of your income. 10% of $2,000 is $200, which is exactly what you have left before life happens. So when the tire goes flat or your kid needs new shoes or the dentist finds a cavity, that $200 disappears and the month starts over. Many people live in this exact loop, not because they're careless, because the gap between income and cost is just narrow enough to survive, but not wide enough to build anything. And then the advice shows up. The blogs, the videos, the tips. Make your own cleaning supplies, buy in bulk, use coupons. All of which might save you $20 a month, which is real money, but it doesn't change the structure. It doesn't create margin. It just makes the tightness slightly less tight. It's like being told to lose weight by breathing more efficiently. Technically true, functionally useless. The real issue isn't that people waste money, it's that modern life is expensive in ways that are hard to avoid. Healthcare costs have gone up faster than wages. Rent has gone up faster than wages. Childcare, if you need it, can cost more than rent. And wages? They've been mostly flat for decades when adjusted for inflation. So when someone says, just save more, they're ignoring the fact that for a lot of people, there isn't more to save, not without cutting something that actually matters. Here's another thing that happens. You try to be good. You skip the coffee. You say no to dinner with friends. You wear the same jacket for another winter. And then your bank charges you a $35 overdraft fee because a payment came out one day earlier than you expected. Suddenly, you're not saving money. You're paying penalties for being broke. Or you need a car repair. The mechanic says it's $800. You don't have $800, so you put it on a credit card at 22% interest. Now you're not just paying for the repair, you're paying interest on the repair for the next year. Being low income is expensive. That's not a metaphor, it's measurable. You pay more in fees, you pay more in interest. You can't buy in bulk because you don't have the upfront cash. You can't take advantage of sales. You can't invest in the thing that would save you money over time because you need the money now. It's a tax on not having enough. And none of that shows up in the budget advice. So what actually works? Not tips, structure. The goal isn't to save 10% right now. The goal is to create enough room that saving becomes possible at all. That starts with one thing, margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you owe. And if you don't have it, everything else is harder. Most people try to create margin by earning more or spending less. Those are the two levers. But on low income, earning more isn't always immediate, and spending less often means cutting things that hurt. So the first move is to stop measuring success by the percentage you save and start measuring it by whether you can handle a surprise without spiraling. That might mean your savings goal isn't $200 a month, it's $50 or $20 or whatever fits without forcing you to skip meals or ignore a bill. Small, consistent amounts create stability. Stability creates options. Options create margin. And once you have even a little margin, the system starts working differently. Here's what that looks like in practice. Let's say you manage to set aside $20 a week. That's $80 a month. In 3 months, you have $240. That's not retirement money, but it's enough to cover the overdraft fee before it happens. It's enough to pay the small repair before it becomes the big repair. It's enough to buy the thing on sale instead of paying full price later. Margin doesn't mean wealth. It means you stop losing money to emergencies. The next part is about structure, not willpower. Most people try to save by deciding to spend less, but decisions are hard when you're tired, stressed, or just trying to get through the week. Structure removes the decision. That might mean automatically moving $10 into a separate account the day you get paid, not after you see what's left, before. It might mean using cash for groceries so you can't accidentally overspend. It might mean setting up your bills to come out on the same day every month so you're not guessing when things will hit. The less you have to think about it, the more likely it works. And here's the part that doesn't get said enough. Saving money on low income isn't about denying yourself everything. It's about making sure the things you spend on are actually the things you care about. A lot of people spend money on things they don't value because the system defaults them into it. Subscriptions they forgot about, fees they didn't notice, conveniences that aren't actually convenient. The question isn't, what can I cut? It's, what do I actually want this money to do for me? Because if you're going to live tight, you should at least be tight around the life you're trying to build, not the life someone else told you to have. One more thing. If your income is low, increasing it even slightly changes everything. That doesn't mean just get a better job. It means looking for small, realistic increases. A side project that brings in $50 a month, a certification that qualifies you for a raise, a negotiation you've been avoiding. None of these are easy, but they're often more effective than cutting another $10 from the grocery budget. Because at a certain point, you can't cut your way to security. You can only earn your way there. But while you're working on that, the goal is to stop bleeding, to stop paying fees, to stop using credit for things that should be cash, to stop feeling like you're one bad week away from collapse. That's what saving on low income actually looks like. Not building wealth, building a buffer. Not getting rich, getting stable. Not having everything, having enough that the next thing doesn't break you. Saving money on low income is hard, not because people are careless, because the math is hard. But it's not impossible. It just requires a different strategy than the one designed for people with room to spare. Start small, build structure, protect your margin. And remember that getting through the month without going backwards is not failure, it's progress. The rest comes after that.